trying to break some bad habits, and those still show up every now and again. But I think he's a lot more mentally confident, and you can see a little bounce in his step. And he's certainly still got a long ways to go, but you can tell he's studied in the off-season. He's worked with his wideouts in the off-season, and that's paid dividends here as we've started camp.
Tom, you're installing this offense. Is retention typically the biggest hurdle or the most challenging thing as you put it in at the start?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have the neat thing about the staff not turning over year after year is the fact that you've got fourth and fifth year seniors that have run the same offense for 4 and 5 years, and so retention, you still teach from the ground up every single time you start spring practice or you start two-a-days, but the retention for the veterans is usually there, where for us this is practice 18 in this offense, and so there are still some things that aren't second nature to our guys, and slowly but surely that'll come.
Do you think the tempo kind of adds to that challenge, the way you guys demand it from these
There's
guys?
no doubt. There's no doubt it does, because you don't have time to think, and so once the offense becomes second nature, the whole game slows down and the tempo doesn't seem near as fast for the guys that are doing it. But right now it seems like we're going 1,000 miles an hour because their brains are trying to churn, and it's not second nature for them. And so once it becomes second nature, then the tempo will internally slow down, although externally will stay the same.
How much better does it look compared to the end of spring?
Light years.
Yeah.
Light years better. We actually can throw and catch a football. If we were at a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10 coming out of the spring in terms of throwing and catching, we're up to a 4. So we're still not real good, but we're still a lot better than we were at the end of the spring, which is a testament to our guys and how much they worked in the offseason.
Do you feel like you've got 2 quarterbacks that can run the system now at least, or is Cardale even in the mix? I mean, but with Kenny, I mean, what's your sense there?
Love Kenny Guyton. Kenny's a guy that can survive a lot on mental reps. He's a really sharp guy that understands the offense, understands the tempo, lacks obviously some of the physical tools that Braxton has, but makes up for it in the way that he plays mentally. And so definitely feel like he's got a little bit more velocity on his ball. He's worked on his arm strength. He's worked on his mechanics to speed up the velocity on his throws. So yeah, we feel like we've got 2 guys that are capable, but one certainly ahead of the other.
You've seen what Urban has said about Braxton being the most dynamic athlete he's ever had at a quarterback. I mean, do you see the same things in him? I mean, is he worth gushing about, I guess? I know I'm asking his position coach, but
I'll reserve judgment until after the season.
Okay.
I'll gush on him after the season.
Well, what does he bring that's different as far as you're concerned compared to maybe other guys you've worked with? I mean, what sets him apart?
Well, physically, his acceleration and explosiveness are off the charts. And I think what gets lost in, again, we didn't spend a whole lot of time studying last year. I don't know much about how he performed in games last year, what he did. I do know this through 18 balls, the kid can throw the football, and he's got a quick, smooth release, and if he's very consistent with his footwork, he can do some dynamic things in the throwing game, because he can avoid a lot of problems back there with his feet and extend plays, which is an incredible asset for him.
You said you've thrown everything at the Bucks. What's the advantage
Not
of that?
everything yet.
Okay,
Through 6 practices. We'll have it all in after 6.
Okay, so you are installing one thing at a time. How much are you pared down right now?
Not much. I think we're on schedule for practice 3. Our base offense really goes in the first 3 practices, and then some of the periphery things through 5, 6, or 4, 5, and 6, and then after that it's a refinement of what you already know, and really honing in on the different not only physical skills, but then obviously the defense, they're not wooden Indians. They can move around and do all sorts of crazy things, and we've got to be able to adjust every play accordingly.
The black stripes on the freshmen's helmets, are those something that they can earn their way out of?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I understand, I think it's probably a question for Coach Meyer, but as far as I understand, at some point they will earn the right to remove those black stripes.
Tom,